So Richard, some people told me that you were one of pioneers of psychedelic movement and one of main person in this. Can you share your story?
Well,
how it begins with you?
When I was a young man in college, I had an experience with LSD.
When it was?
And let me see. I would say that was probably about 1967. And I'd read about LSD, and I understood that it could be quite transformative. And I had a friend tell me that the LSD that we had was particularly good, and he was somebody who could take a lot of LSD and act like nothing happened. So I took him very seriously, and I took some, and I gave my girlfriend some, and several other people were with me, and they all took some. So we all took one capsule, or one. It wasn't a capsule. It was like a pill. It looked like a commercially manufactured tablet, and it was orange. And we were told it was orange sunshine, and nothing happened. So after a little while, I said, would anybody like some more? And I gave most of the rest of them a half a tablet more, and I took a whole tablet, and nothing was happening. And so at this point, it was like, probably an hour and 15 minutes since the first tablet, and I said, would anybody like some more? And nobody wanted
Third
any
time.
more. Yes, I think easily 500-600 micrograms is my assessment, having later experience with real clinical LSD. And so I went, just after I took that last tablet, I felt this tingling feeling, and I knew that something was about to happen. And I had an urge that I had to go to the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom, and like a good man, I was standing there, and there was a poster of a tiger. And as I'm letting go, I look at the tiger, and the tiger is alive and is looking back at me and is breathing, and the tiger's eyes meet my eyes, and it's as if there wasn't a poster but a hole in the wall that went to India or Africa, wherever the tiger was. And I was, looking at that. Very powerful experience of comfort. And in that moment, I realized that I was absolutely insane, totally crazy. And I was panic-stricken that I was crazy. And then, almost as if a narrator, another side of me came in and said, you've never been crazy before. This is going to be a fantastic experience. Very interesting. And so all of a sudden it was like the curiosity got the better of me, and I was like, oh. And so I went over to the sink, and I started to wash my hands, and then I kept hearing there was a fan going, and the sound of the fan had turned into the sound of insects in the forest. And then I looked in the mirror, and there's this young man. I was about 17 years old, and this young man with immense pupils and vibrant red skin. And then I got frightened again, because I looked, and there were two little pieces of bone coming up right here, and And as I looked more carefully, these were little horns. They were perfectly formed little horns. And something inside of me went, whoa, whoa, what is this? And then I realized that every time I breathed, my lips would get red. And every time I breathed out, my lips would go white. And as I breathed more, I realized that every breath out was a breath of death. It was the slowing down and the stopping of everything and the ending of everything, and then every breath in was a breath of life. And then I saw if I breathed more and more, the effects got more pronounced, and that if I stopped breathing and kind of went, pushed, then I was able to stop and the horns went away. But then I looked like a dead man, like a corpse, like a cadaver, white. And so then I thought, well, I don't want to do that because death was not inviting, you know. I don't want to be dead. Why then is it that I'm seeing this image of evil and I'm not, you know, I'm not raised in such a background of hard Christianity or some judgments or something about it, but it's this universal image. And so I was wondering, what is this about? What is this about? Then I noticed that I should breathe more, because if I stop breathing, and so I'm breathing more and looking at my eyes in the mirror, and pretty soon it's like my personality comes apart. And there were different selves, different sides of me that literally in the mirror, because I was looking at my face would change, and it would become the face of Hitler, and the face of Jesus, and the face of this one, and the face of that one, and the different faces that I didn't recognize. But each sort of was an aspect really of me. And it was like a group therapy that was going on, looking in the mirror. And, you know, I didn't know anything about psychotherapy. I was a young biology student, but, you know, I'm talking to myself in the mirror, and what's going on is pure psychotherapy and good psychotherapy. I mean, but the theme was we're all in this together, and each one has something to contribute, and how does the right one come out at the right time? How to make this work so that it works well was the question. So there was a kind of a respect amongst all these aspects, pieces. And then there was this sense of kind of unifying that all into one, and then this overwhelming feeling of love and acceptance, and I kissed the image in the mirror. Just, you know. And in that moment just felt like, oh, like coming home.